9210.
All the games people play now, every night and every day now, never meaning what they say now, they're never saying what they mean. Walla with the hours, in the ivory towers, till they're covered up with flowers, in the back of a blank limousine. Da-da-da-da-da. Made one another cry, break our hearts when we say goodbye, cross our hearts and then we hope to die, and the other one to blame, 'cause neither one of us will give it, though we gaze on an ache again, thinking about the things that might have been, but it's a dirty rotten shame. Walking up to ya, sing glory hallelujah, then the cry circuit to ya, in the name of the Lord. They're gonna teach you how to live today, read your horoscope and cheat your fate, save your soul as far from heaven, hey, come on, get on board. La-da-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da. Talking about you and me and the games people play. Wait a minute, look around, tell me what you see. What's happening to you and me? God grant me this remedy, but just remember who I am. 'Cause you're giving up your sanity, all your pride and your vanity, turn your back on humanity, and you don't give a damn. Talking about you and me and the games people play. Talking about you and me and the games people play. Talking about you and me and the games people play.
Eclypse and the games people play, and that'll be the first track on the B-side of the EP that comes out. And we'll talk more to them after this. I think we better come to the mysterious Brian and actually have a chat. And what I'm going to say, in fact, is Brian, you managed the band. What were they like when you first heard them?
Honestly, Ryan,
honestly. When I first heard them, I didn't think they were particularly brilliant, but I felt that there was something there. And there was a lack of experience, which over the last 2 years they've now gained those 2 years experience, and anybody who heard them then and hears them now can notice a tremendous difference.
What sort of training have you had to sort of be in the position to manage a band like this?
That's a very difficult one for me to answer, because I haven't actually had any training at all. It goes back, in fact, something like about 16 or 17 years ago, when I was asked, or approached rather, by a local village band if I would sort of help them along the road. And one of the people that I can claim as being a friend of mine was Brian Epstein, the manager of the Beatles. And the first thing I did was to go and have a natter to him, and he certainly told me a number of the pitfalls to look out for. Well, and it's really gone from then.
What it is to have influential friends. Excellent. Okay.
This is a Charrington house, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Very nice too. All a pub shall be. I'll have a pint of their IPA, thank you. You can't be too careful.
You can say that again.
No, I mean, IPA is one thing. Charrington IPA is something else.
You're something else and all, aren't you? 2 pints, please, love.
It's a traditionalist in me, I suppose. Maturity, life's little lessons, my son.
Shall I tell you what else it is?
No, thank you. I'd rather you didn't.
Charrington IPA. Traditional draft bitter.
I were a trucker, would you love me like a man? If I were older, would you take me by the hand? If I'm no better than before, would you still come back for more? If I were a trucker, would you love me like a man? Came down from Georgia, just a boy of 17. Had no money, just my faded old blue jeans. Though I tried to make you love me, I could never understand your troubles in this hillbilly land. If I were a trucker, would you love me like a man? If I were older, would you take me by the hand? If I'm no better than before, would you still come back for more? If I were a trucker, would you love me like a man?
2-0, it's 26 minutes past 4 o'clock. Talking to Eclypse this afternoon, Nicky and Max and Andy. Right, what style of music, probably come to you, Nick, on this, are you actually aiming at?
Everything. We try to please everybody. So we've got to take the sort of music that will go right over the board. Obviously, we're playing, I suppose, in a way, a public dance, mostly when we do the dances, because we also do a show as well, you see, a cabaret show. Excuse the sniffing, I've got a cold. Well, getting over it anyway. Yeah, the audience can range from sort of 9-10-year-olds right up to the people who want the Gay Gordons, that sort of thing.
You write the music. What's your influences?
Well, it's a difficult question, really.
And your favourite artists and things like that? From,
I suppose,
younger?
yeah, I've got sort of wide range of artists that I like. I like people like Barbara Dixon. And any song, I suppose, with a good melody line and his actual music, I can appreciate.
Right, let's move on to Ian. You're the drummer. I mean, what experience have you had of drumming before with bands?
I've been probably going out gigging since the time I was 15. I think I got my first drum kit when I was 13 years old. Little £30 four-piece drum kit, and kept moving up from then and going through the usual sort of school bands you put together when you're at school. Somebody buys a Woolworths guitar and you start playing a few, sort of status quo songs and things like that. And yeah, it's just progressed up the scale ever since then.
In fact, what changes were made in the band when Brian sort of came across you?
Brian was there before.
You got a cold as well, yeah?
So yeah. Brian was there before I was there. I joined up about a year ago, and things were already on the move then. So I just sort of fitted in and been strolling along ever since.
Do you think the changes that have been made in the band are working?
At the moment, there's the confidence seems to be building all the time, which is a good thing, because you've got to come over with confidence, because if you're not enjoying yourself, or you're making it look as though you're nervous on stage, you're not playing very well or whatever, then the audience isn't going to react to you at all. So.
Right, Nick, you mentioned while the Games People Play was playing, in fact, that a lot of the instrumentation in that was quite interesting, and Max played a big part in it, yeah?
Yes, there was, in fact, a very wide range of instruments played. And Max, although he will never admit it, is a very good musician, and he plays a wide variety of stuff. I mean, obviously, we've got to get him out this door before we go, but he can probably explain better the instruments he actually played through there.
Right, okay, Max, well, before you go on to that, I mean, can I just ask a personal question? How old are you?
I'm 15 and a half.
15 and a half. Well, that's quite young, so to be playing in a band as proficient as Eclypse. So what were you doing in that particular track?
In Games People Play?
Mm.
Well, I was playing Steinway grand piano, Hammond organ, alto and tenor saxes, Yeah, that was it for that track, I think.
Yeah. And in fact, we're going to hear a little bit later, after the next little bit of chat, which will come up after the news. In fact, some of the keyboards coming really into fruition with a Procol Harum song called White Shade of Pale. And we will talk to you more, but at the moment it's time to cross over to the newsroom and to know that little bit closer to you and keeping you in touch.
It's 4:30, this is Dennis Laxton. The Ministry of Defence has given more details about the British toehold in East Falkland. The 5,000 men who landed yesterday are holding...
Because intercepts and gets it into touch.
So as the ball goes into touch there, we'll leave Wembley for the moment. We'll be back for the closing moments of the 1982 Cup Final. Certainly normal time, as Steve Tongue was saying there.
Graham Ledger, 210.
And talking to Eclypse this afternoon. Andy, you're the bass player. Right, you're semi-professional at the moment. Do you want to become professional?
Well, yeah, obviously that's it. That's the thing we're heading for. I think any band that starts up dreams of turning professional. Obviously it's a big step. You know, you can't...
Can I just say, you can get in too quick to try and be a pro before you know exactly what you're letting yourself in for. Obviously, in the 2 short years, comparatively, we've come up with a lot of problems that, in the first place, when we decided, you know, it would be great to be a professional band, you know, it makes you think again when you come up with these problems.
Mm. Right, okay, Max, being the youngest member. So, do you hope to become professional yourself?
Yes, I'd like to be, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you see yourself in a band like this as opposed to being in some sort of more... Conventional's not the right word, really, but say a classical training or anything like that?
Well, yes, in a band like this, I think, really, yeah.
Right, Nick, coming back to you, what sort of advice would you give a young person that wants to start out in the band and possibly thinking of a career?
Be serious. There are a lot of bands who, I know they just go out, obviously, to have a good time, which is good. I mean, we wouldn't do this if we weren't enjoying it. So, first of all, you've got to be able to enjoy your music. Obviously, you know, you've got to be dedicated as well.
And possibly take a few knocks first. And, because when you get out on the professional circuit, or even semi-professional circuit, you're not playing to an admiring circle of friends, yeah?
That's right, yeah. The first few gigs are very disheartening because you're in the practice room, everything's going fine, and when you've actually got an audience in front of you, it's totally different.
Right. Okay, the record's coming out. When does it come out?
Soon.
Yes.
That's all we can say. It could be any time, sort of this next week, you know.
Okay, and can we buy it locally?
You can, yeah. You can buy it all over the place, in fact.
You're having a special promotion day in about a couple of weeks' time, aren't you?
Yeah.
That'll be, where's that going to be taking place?
Well, there are big posters up all over Newbury saying, come and see us. It's in one of the biggest record shops in Newbury.
And it might be linked with HMS Pinafore.
Well, you could say that, yes.
You could, right. Okay, fine. What are you doing tonight? You're gigging tonight, presumably, yeah?
Yes, we've got to rush back. In about an hour and a half's time, we should be back. We're fairly fortunate, actually, playing in Newbury tonight. Mm-hmm. It's probably, in fact, although we're situated mostly in Newbury, this is perhaps, third or fourth gig we've ever had in Newbury. Because,
and where is it?
It's in the British Legion.
Okay, right, well...
Should be a good night.
Nick, Ian, Max, Andy and Brian, thank you very much for coming in this afternoon. Going to leave you with, as promised, that Procol Harum number, and it's A Whiter Shade of Pale. Eclypse, and they're appearing at the British Legion tonight in Newbury, and that's A Whiter Shade of Pale. Okay, we have forgotten something, lads, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah. Finally, we've just got to say thanks to a great guy who's out there. I don't know whether he's listening or not. He's our roadie.
Yeah, we're all together then.
And so we'd just like to say...
Hi, Bob! And after that, it's Rocky Sharp.
Because I knew everything about the world, I was 21 years old, I knew everything. So my job was to lead this guy astray. Like in any job, you've got to lead the new guy astray. Whereas with Sprouts? With Sprouts. So in came the catering staff, and we had all the turkey, and we had and this huge bowl of Sprouts. So everybody in the band said, "Thank you very much, we'll leave the Sprouts." Not him. I love Sprouts. Ate the whole bloody bowl full. It was quite a painful gig, actually.
Crikey. So you're on your own doing this?
Yeah.
And the band come in here. Here we go. And the lamb lies down on Broadway. Do 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 do. Brilliant.
Well, hello there, and welcome along to the Eclypse gig. We're backstage, by the way, so you won't get much of the vocals, but there we go. In the middle of blue suede shoes at the moment. Going right behind the back of the stage. Having a quick drink. Step on my blue suede shoes. Amesbury, is it? No, it's not Amesbury. It's Avebury. Avebury, that's it. Avebury, that's it, yeah. Is that it then? No.
So we'd just like to say...
Hi!